to set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
It's the weekend, it's nighttime, and it's time for Class AKAPADers, because we do documentaries here on the weekend nights, weekend days. You guys know is animation. That's right. In the morning on the weekends, we do the kids, and at night, we do the adults. Welcome back. Peter A. DeLuca here. Episode 1100 something. We're rocking and rolling on the AKAPAD Film Buff podcast, coming to you from the one and only, the greatest city in the world, Philadelphia, PA. I live right near City Hall, and it's one of the most magnificent structures one could imagine to live around. And you might be thinking of like the Capitol building or the Eiffel Tower, maybe even Statue of Liberty. Maybe you live right off the water there. But no, AKAPADers, it is City Hall. And we got something, speaking of just like revolution and fighting and the best ideas win, right? These are the things Philadelphia represents for me. Justin McConnell here. So this dude makes a documentary. 2020. It's called Clapboard Jungle. It's one of the worst titles. I like the jungle position for this title, right? But Clapboard, I had to look up if that was what these things were called, the little clapper. Like, we use a clapper here in the intro and outro of the Film Buff podcast. I call them clappers, but I guess it's a clapboard because you can write on it. Essential tool for film production and documenting your work as you go along, as you're shooting. I do all like audio clappers between my YouTube stuff and the Film Buff, which is, I'll say take one or take two or take three. Sometimes I'll even reference a previous take, like take this from take two, because we just record, like we're not spending money on film, where everything's digital, so I take advantage of it. So Justin McConnell, outside of in my view, an absolutely confusing title, has weaved, in my view, a masterpiece of a documentary here. This is one of the best, we'll say, like from the earth to the industry, professional film documentaries. And Justin, in my eyes, is an absolute professional. 15 minutes in, the way how this guy just tells his story, it pulls you in, you root for the guy, but you know what's coming, right? I mean, it's called Jungle. And Justin sells himself, and he tells you about his life so well. You want this kid to win the Palme d'Or by the end of all of this. And he even has, I give Justin so much credit here, where he has a little bit of a come to Jesus moment. We'll say like 20 minutes to go in the doc. And sorry, I didn't take any notes while watching this. Where he says he may not have known as much as he thought he knew. Where his knowledge and maybe even the way he worked, and that maybe like he was too difficult, wasn't much of a company guy, wasn't much of a I will help you get this thing done guy. He comes to terms with that, and then we'll say like the final act of the documentary, we see this film of his get released, and we see lines of the people, and we're ending in like a happier note, but it in no way is this like an Oscar run, a Golden Globe run, a award season run movie. This is just a movie that got released, that has a little bit of hype, a little bit of attention, and some of that could be the manipulation of Justin himself. I really don't care, because it's such a good feeling watching this guy go through it, get something out of it, and then what I do is the documentary wraps up, and I'm just like sitting there thinking about this. this kid and his life. And there's so much of like the film buff and what I do on YouTube, and we can say my illustration, my comic book career, that lends itself directly to this. In my mid-20s though, right, like I had the revelation, and some of this was because at the time I had a girlfriend with a kid. I needed to have a life and have a career. I needed to like back away from this dream, this idea I was pursuing. And even to this day, I don't know how all of my stuff adds up. I want to say I think Justin may have come to terms, like like he came to what I realized Justin came to realize much later in life. It doesn't discredit it. I'm just explaining to you guys how I relate to it, and there's so much of my heart that goes out to this kid. So very similar, and scroll down, or just type in Kid Icarus on AKAPAD.com. But very similar to Kid Icarus, when I looked up Justin on social, I was hoping, I'm not thinking he's going to have 100,000 followers, but I'm thinking he's going to be maybe in like the tens of thousands. He was going to be more regular, more targeted, even more inspiring stemming out of this documentary, because I would kill to get something like this made for myself, just to be able to sketch out for people what the grind is like, the things you have to know, the things you have to study, where you have to go, where you have to travel. Justin in this, and you see it, he fully embarks into the travel part of this, of getting in front of people's faces. I always said, that's not me, like that's not Peter A. DeLuca. We're doing it from a desk, and that's how we're doing it, and it gets as big as, like I capped it, and I gave restrictions because I kind of know what's on the other side of it, and it is there's nothing but truth and reconciliation and disappointment on the other end when it doesn't quite click. And Justin tries to be he tries to be as positive and like influential and inspiring as possible, and some of it comes off as authentic and some of it doesn't. And the reason for that is, well, physically, like Justin even says in this, like he gained weight, and we see kind of like the signs and the weight shifting. I don't know how long this was even shot for, but we see a little bit of fluctuation of weight in his body, in his face, in his arms. And we want our heroes, because Justin is our hero in this, we want our heroes to be weapons of truth and destruction. We want our heroes being able to fight, be able to go through a wall, get over a wall. We want our heroes to save us. And I just feel like as a hero, Justin, his presence within the lens, within the camera, this is a part of filmmaking. We talk about this. We talk about how the camera loves certain individuals. And it's so hard to discern it, to dissect it, to determine it, to describe it. But we know it when we see it. I feel like I should have been more drawn to Justin as Justin. To me, he should have been a superhero. He should have looked a little bit like a superhero. And I'm not saying he's wearing a superhero costume. I'm just saying his presence on camera. A lot of this, self-defeating. And when I cycle back to how personal this documentary was for me to watch, that's a lot of what I ran away from. I ran away from guys like Justin because I just saw them as unserious people, or people who thought they knew everything and didn't just want to make a product and crank something out and learn a craft, where everything is this art stuff. But he does this incredible job. He gets 100 other filmmakers, high and low, given these rock solid testimonials. He contrasts his struggle to what they're doing. And in my view, a lot of these individuals, when they make it there, Guillermo del Toro, George Lucas, the list goes on, they always, I mean, even Francis Ford Coppola around Megadoc and Megalopolis. Go listen to the Megadoc documentary that we did not long ago, where they will tell you they're making art. They're not in commerce. They are here to make a film. They always spew out the word art, and they don't understand, or maybe they do, and it's just a part of the gimmick. It's a part of the tale that they have to tell. But things are determined as art way later. So it's never as you're making the movie. It's never as you're releasing the movie or like the first wave of audiences are engaging the movie. Art will come later, but for now, make the effing product. And there's slots for filmmakers high and low. Like somewhat of the position to how competitive content is right now. But I view so much of it as like a boom, because I like Tubi and Shudder and the list goes on and on. There's all of these places that will give you money for your movie if you just make a good movie. I might be naive in that perception, but I do have friends that are in Justin's lane. Some of them I made through this podcast alone. The episodes found some of these people, and they reached out to me, and we became online friends. You got to make a good product. We don't see Justin get to that. He doesn't realize that. But I was highly disappointed in his social media. I just thought it would be more energetic, more creative, more of a knowledge dump than anything. But what a amazing documentary. Going back to the first 20 minutes, 20 minutes, you see how good of a storyteller Justin is. I would trust this dude with any of my stories, any of my scripts, ideas, thoughts. I would trust him to get it done. And I want to say that's the best position to put for this documentary. It is a hell of an advertisement for Justin's storytelling capabilities. This is one of the best filmmaking documentaries, period. It really is. Film Buff Podcast. I love you. Rock and roll, guys. Have a good weekend.
Okay, that's a wrap.